If you've ever stood over your garden wondering why your plants look good on the surface but never seem to explode with the kind of deep structural growth you dream of, you're not alone. Most gardeners, even experienced ones, focus so much on what happens above ground that they forget the true engine of plant strength lies below, the root zone. And in that hidden underground world, one simple ingredient can change everything. Yet most gardeners waste it or use it completely wrong. That ingredient is molasses, one of the most underrated, misunderstood, and misused tools in gardening. If you've been mixing it into your soil without intention, or using it because you heard it's good for plants, then trust me, you're not getting even a fraction of what it can truly do. Here at Soil Power, we're all about unlocking the science beneath your feet. And today, we're diving deep into how molasses can supercharge your soil biology, ignite explosive root growth, and transform your garden into a thriving, resilient ecosystem, if you use it the right way. Let's dig in. Most gardeners hear molasses and think of sugar, but in the soil, molasses isn't feeding your plants directly. Instead, it's feeding the entire underground workforce responsible for nutrient cycling, root development, and plant resilience. Molasses contains natural sugars, organic acids, trace minerals, and carbon compounds that soil microbes absolutely crave. Think of it as a steady, slow-release energy drink for beneficial bacteria and fungi. When microbes receive this carbon boost, they wake up, multiply, and begin working overtime. They start breaking down organic matter faster, processing nutrients more efficiently, and forming symbiotic networks around plant roots. Those networks, especially mycorrhizal fungi, act like biological extensions of your roots. They deliver minerals, water, and micronutrients with an efficiency that roots alone can never match. A plant with a strong microbial partnership doesn't just grow better. It becomes stronger, smarter, and more adaptable to stress. When we talk about root strength, we're not just talking about thick roots. We're talking about intelligent roots. Roots that know how to reach nutrients, store water, and withstand drought, disease, and heat. Molasses accelerates everything happening in that hidden world, turning sluggish soil into a living powerhouse. Before you rush to the kitchen, this part matters. Not all molasses belongs in your soil, and the wrong type can actually damage microbial life. You need unsulfured blackstrap molasses, nothing else. It's the darkest, richest, and most mineral-dense version available. It's free of the sulfur preservatives found in cheaper sulfured varieties, which can stunt microbial activity or even kill beneficial bacteria. Blackstrap molasses is quite literally the leftover nutrient concentrate from sugar processing. What remains after extracting table sugar is a thick, mineral-rich liquid loaded with the very compounds microbes use as energy sources and building blocks. Many gardeners unknowingly use sulfured molasses because it's common in grocery stores. But those preservatives you'd never taste in your tea can absolutely wreak havoc underground. Always check the label and look for unsulfured. This is the version that transforms your soil from lifeless to living. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes: using too much. Molasses is powerful, but power needs balance. Overloading your soil with sugar can trigger a microbial frenzy that quickly depletes oxygen, suffocating roots. To experience real benefits without damaging your soil, you need the proper ratio. The sweet spot is 1 teaspoon of unsulfured blackstrap molasses per 1 liter of non-chlorinated water. If you're mixing a larger batch, especially useful for big gardens, use 4 tablespoons per gallon of water. This mixture provides just enough energy to stimulate microbial growth without overwhelming the system. It's balanced, predictable, and safe for long-term use. Always dissolve the molasses fully. Incomplete mixing means inconsistent results, and soil biology thrives on consistency. Apply the mixture directly at the base of the plant, soaking the root zone thoroughly. This brings the molasses straight to the microbes that need it most. Apply it once every 7 to 10 days during active growth phases. This keeps microbes energized without overwhelming the soil. Plants use the most energy during root expansion, leaf development, and early branching, so this is where molasses has the biggest payoff. If you're working with seedlings or fresh transplants, go half strength. Their root systems are delicate and can be easily stressed. Half a teaspoon per liter protects the roots while introducing microbes gradually. Some gardeners like using molasses as a foliar spray. While it can give a mild energy boost, the true power of molasses comes alive in the soil, not on leaves. Use foliar application sparingly and prioritize soil drenching. You get the best results when you apply molasses during periods of root rebuilding or rapid microbial activity. The best times include immediately after transplanting, after pruning, or following any environmental stress. These are moments when plants redirect a lot of energy below the soil. And molasses helps fuel microbial partners that support recovery and root expansion. During vegetative growth, use once weekly. During flowering or fruiting, reduce applications to once every 3 weeks. At the stage, plants have already developed substantial root systems, and the goal shifts from growth to nutrient uptake. Correct timing ensures molasses supports your plants exactly when they need it most. Molasses doesn't work like synthetic fertilizers. You won't see an overnight color change or sudden spike in size. Instead, you'll see deeper signs that your soil, and therefore your plants, are becoming stronger from the inside out. The soil becomes softer and richer in color, breaking apart easily between your fingers. This is a sign of high microbial activity and improved aggregation. Roots begin branching aggressively, creating dense, fibrous networks. Stems thicken noticeably, and foliage becomes fuller and more vibrant. You'll also start seeing fewer symptoms of nutrient deficiencies, even if you haven't added extra fertilizer. Molasses stimulates decomposition and nutrient cycling, causing nitrogen, phosphorus, and other immobilized nutrients to become available to roots. The soil shifts from acting like a passive medium to becoming a biological engine. This transformation is real, visible, and long-lasting, and it happens simply because soil life is finally awake. If you really want to unlock the full power of your soil, combining molasses with compost tea is hands down one of the most effective things you can do. Compost tea is a living brew loaded with billions of beneficial microbes. When you add molasses to the brew while it's fermenting, you give those microbes the exact energy they need to multiply even faster. To make an effective batch, brew 5 liters of compost tea using high-quality, well-aged compost. Add 2 tablespoons of unsulfured blackstrap molasses, and let it steep for 24 hours. Stir occasionally to keep it oxygenated. Apply the finished tea once every 2 weeks around the root zone. This combination acts like a probiotic supercharger for your soil, accelerating recovery after transplanting and triggering explosive root development. On the Soil Power channel, we use this exact method regularly, and the results are nothing short of transformational. One of the biggest mistakes is overusing molasses. When too much sugar enters the soil, microbes multiply faster than oxygen can keep up. This creates anaerobic conditions and can suffocate roots. Another common issue is using chlorinated tap water. Chlorine kills beneficial bacteria, undoing much of the good molasses brings. If tap water is your only option, let it sit uncovered overnight so the chlorine evaporates. Finally, remember that molasses isn't a fertilizer. It doesn't replace nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, or micronutrients. What makes molasses so powerful is that it works with nature rather than against it. It wakes up the soil, fuels the biology, and helps plants grow from the most natural source possible, the ground beneath them. This is the kind of method that keeps your garden thriving year after year, regardless of climate or crop. It's affordable, organic, and incredibly effective. Your soil deserves to live, your roots deserve to grow strong, and your plants deserve to thrive. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to Soil Power and share this article with other gardeners who want to grow smarter, stronger, and more naturally. Together, we're building gardens powered by biology, not chemicals. Stay rooted, stay growing. Soil Power.